Thanks, Mark. Good afternoon, everybody. It's always a delight to be here. Toulouse, world renowned for its love of the game. And today the locals are not only able to show that, but also their love of the nation. All to go alongside their devotion to their club side too, of course. France waiting in the tunnel to be led out by Charles Ollivon back in the captaincy role, and on the verge of ending a big year with an unbroken run of victories. Indeed, now stretching back to the summer tour of 2021. Now, they'd love to be able to say they're unbeaten at the end of next year. But it's undoubtedly turning into one of the best possible preparations for a World Cup campaign on home soil. Getting that long-awaited Grand Slam in the spring and now closing in on approaching another Six Nations with another unblemished autumn record. They're certainly finding ways to win these days. Their opponents, Japan, however, are not. Although it was always going to be a tough run of fixtures for them in 2022. They hosted France in the summer series. And then New Zealand, England and France again on their recent travels. This trip for the Japanese looks very much like the end of a World Cup would, but maybe such a schedule will, in the end, prove to be a good thing. Japan don't want it easy. Those days are long gone. And the team's about to get a Toulouse welcome. France away from Paris, just as they will be at times in the World Cup. Toulouse will actually be Japan's World Cup base, and this ground will be the scene of two of their matches in England's pool, of course. This today really does have a sense of what it will be like here next autumn, and it's quite an event again. The applause for rugby against racism. And then it will be the anthems, after which we'll run you through the teams for one last time. We start with the national anthem of Japan. And now, la Marseillaise. It's even more special when the home team is on the road. Here is the home side then. Fabien Galtier goes for consistency where possible again. Redawadi comes in to start at prop with Bay injured. Romain Afifaneur replaces another injured Toulouse player, Flamand, at lock. Behind the scrum, it's Maxime Lecou for the band captain Antoine Dupont, making it 3 men of Toulouse who miss out. From 10 to 15, it's as you were against Australia and South Africa. And with no Dupont, Olivon returns to that captaincy, as I said. Japan's Jamie Joseph has kept it pretty well the same in the forwards, despite the comprehensive defeat to England. Atsushi Sakate leads from hooker. Peter Labiskakny is the only personnel change up front. He's at 7. Jimeno moves to number 8 then. It's in the backs where the changes occur. Try scorer versus England. Saito starts at scrum half. Lee comes off the bench too to begin at fly half. Nakano in at centre. Riley out to the wing. Fafita back on the other wing. And once more, Sekou Makalu covers the back row and the back three as well. And we are back very soon for France versus Japan here in Toulouse.
Video analysis was so key. You know, the one game I actually managed to find out that my opposition winger struggled to turn, was very slow in the turn, you know, when the kick went in behind him, and that gave me such a competitive advantage. In business, you always are trying to look for that little bit of knowledge, that little bit of analytical insights. The better you do that, the more you're able to succeed.
Sage gives businesses like Brian Habanas the tools and insights to make better decisions. Sage, helping business flow.
Welcome back. We have a false kickoff, as is the way in France. Got it 10 metres, not bad. Should say the referee today is Andrew Brace, all-island team of officials. In fact, with Frank Murphy, Chris Busby assisting on field. Joy Neville is the television match official. France and Japan last met in France 5 years ago. Finished a draw that day. Not many backing that outcome today. France favourites for everything, it seems, these days. And not just with the bookmakers. They're the ones everybody wants to watch at the moment. And it's Japan who get us underway.
Inside.
In a drizzle. Gorgeous sunshine this morning. This rain was forecast. We hope it doesn't get too heavy. Maxime Lecou in for the great Dupont. At scrum half, gets his first kick in, and Japan, who will have been wanting dry weather, and will be wanting this to go straight through France right at the start. Unbelievable. That French defence breached almost, still a chance, as the backs have it now.
Onside.
Saito with the service. Here's Inagaki. Saito again. Here comes Dylan Riley on the wing today, but popping up. He's a very central receiver there. He's got great power to go with that speed. Advantage being played. Japan looking for a dream start here. Little check, nothing coming. And penalty given. Some start, Benjamin.
France showing that they adapted to the conditions probably. So the rain started, long kick by Lecou, who wasn't particularly the most precise. You have to exit those balls. You cannot leave the backfield of Japan free to counter-attack, otherwise they will absolutely do it all day long. But Japan, I don't think they're even looked at the weather forecast. They're, you know, plan A is to play a lot and plan B is to play even more. And that's what they've shown. Ideal start, not taking the points, going for the line out. Look, they're very ambitious, and it's well-deserved.
Right call, Paul, to go for the line out.
I think so. They're not going to win this game by kicking 9 penalty goals. Have a crack at the points when they're on offer.
Here's the man who made the call. Sakate, the captain, and Hooker throws in as they look for the drive. Paul Nelson alongside Durns in the second row. Here's Sakate again. Labiskakny offers another tail-end line-out option as well. And Michael Leach too, of course. A lot of ball will go to him. But the ball goes to ground from Japanese hands, and France, to the relief of the home supporters, have the put-in to this defensive scrum.
They got quite the examination in the scrum against England, Japan. As we see Jimeno finding the soft centre in that breakdown. They got him into this position in the first place. France just literally taking their eye off the ball.
Yeah, Romain Taofifénois just gets caught looking at the defense whilst not even staring at the ruck. First man outside there, his first responsibility is to stay in there as long as the pass has not been done.
Point!
Yes, Ducky, good job.
Set! Stay! Stay there.
Referee checking the binding on that far side. It crumples on this near side. The ref sees enough where he is, and also got a call from Frank Murphy, the assistant, working in combination. Now the ground staff might be required to work a little bit.
I know, it's not great. Number 3 to the knee, Mike.
Look at that strength from Reda Wardi. The replacement, first cap against the Springboks, getting a first start the week consecutively after. Tremendous amount of strength in him, brute force. Quite a late starter to rugby. European champion with La Rochelle, doing brilliantly well. Fabien Galtier said that at the end of the game, each coach gets to elect his man of the match, and Reda Wardi was his. Sekou Makalu ended up getting it because everybody voted for him, but strong first scrum for him.
Not a strong start for the pitch, though. Some molehills down at the try line. Referee Andrew Bray said not great. Master of the understatement there. Certainly is, and the forwards will be wary of that. Of course, the stadium here in Toulouse, used by the football team. Not sure they'll be too happy about that either. That's come off Derns. Here's Leach going back and straightening. It's all in Japanese hands thus far. So Ficou and France try and sort out the situation. Very aggressive defensive line that time. That's Rocky getting stuck in. Taofifénois as well.
And use it.
In for the injured Toulouse man, Thibaut Flamand. There's still no Paul Willemse in the French second row. Missed the series with a thigh injury.
Stop.
Cheer there for Ramos on the catch. And the local boy.
And use it.
Ficou of Bordeaux-Bègles. High into the rain. Yamanaka does the same. That's gone very high and will take some catching, but Ramos had a bit of space. Hands from Ontamak, and now the noise, and Ficou. Moefana. France's first attack inside that Japanese 22. Olivon. Luku. Prepared to drive and set it up with Gelon. Danty. Julien Marchand, another of Toulouse. So too Ontamak, along with his famous father, of course, Emile. Wadi. Antonio Ficou. Trying to get away from that tackle, had he done so. They're in behind. It was 3-on-2. Marchand again, and rolling on. Luku. Ontamak. And here's Pedro. Little dribble. Oh! Slightly circuitous route, but he's done it again. Another try in 2022 for that man. The winner against the Wallabies. You can't keep him out of international action these days.
Okay, on to your decision is try confirming the grounding.
He will be delighted with that finish, Damien Penaud, because he had to add a little bit of that spark, that footballing magic. In French, we say un grand pont. When you kick the ball around the defender, you just walk around him. He'll be absolutely like, he'll pretend that he did all that on purpose. Obviously, great passage of play. Romain Tamak spotting the back row, the back cover, not particularly accurate.
Yeah, he's definitely onside, Andy.
Beautiful
Okay,
finish
Andy, I
under
have
the
a
rain.
decision. You may award the try. You may award the try. Brandon was good.
Yamanaka desperately trying to cover up. It was his kick initially that led to the counter-attack, pulled it across the field. Some slick hands from N0V. France made the break, and then actually just out of shot. Penno's 70 metres off his own wing, but it was him who called to N0V to put the kick through. Great vision from the winger. Might be slightly fortunate with the finish, but once Yamanaka had made that mistake,
No,
he is deadly.
He'll pretend like it was all planned, trust me.
Not all good news, though, as N0V is down receiving treatment. But all eyes in the stadium now on Thomas Ramos. Going into the weekend, the leading point scorer in the Autumn Nations Series. But he can't add to his 40 points there. But on the board, and Penno scores again. 7 tries now in this calendar year for France.
I think that was his 21st international try, and the this ranking is at 32 or 33. I think it's just a matter of months or a couple of years before he gets there at this speed.
Inside.
Yes, he's just got the knack, whatever it is. Some just have it. His opposite number is Dylan Riley.
Out to 10.
Once again, it's the up and under.
Backwards for me.
No knock-on calls the referee on to back.
Stop.
Coming back to full fitness during this series, hardly any rugby going into it. Galtier backed him. Mathieu Jalabert once again having to be content with the bench. Here's Ramos, who's certainly taken his chance in the absence of the injured Melvin Jaminet.
Okay, take him back. Arrête. Arrête.
Into Mac's kick. Counter-attack possibilities here for Japan. Saito quickly in. You see Inagaki releasing the popping that fourth receiver well. His hands are very good. Delicate hands, the big man, but that doesn't come back quickly enough. And Andrew Brace pounces on it, as France did.
They were doing well there, Japan. They were winning that kicking exchange. They were accurate after Luka went long. They managed to trap Ramos, a little bit indecisive in the backfield, to win that counter-attack so they can get over the halfway line and play from there, but only the second ruck. Marchand needs dealing with. He's an animal over the ball.
Thomas Ramos did brilliantly there, didn't he? He caught that ball. I think there was about 8 Japanese jerseys in front of him. I was a bit scared. Julien Marchand's right hand on the floor first. You got to be careful, but is there a better hooker over the ball at the moment in the world? He is absolutely lethal in that department, winning so many penalties for his club of Toulouse, but also for France.
10 mètres. Restez là.
Also now a try scorer himself in international rugby. Got the first one against Australia. Daunting. Diku's not right. He's nowhere near play at the moment. He's trying to rejoin the attack. Trotting into the half of Japan, but it's all around the 22 once more with Waki. Diku now back in position in midfield. Trying to run the injury off if he can. His last shot again. Tunneling on. Good contest from Japan, but illegal, said the referee. We're just flopping over a little bit.
Yeah.
He's so dynamic, isn't he?
Dived on it, and then it's
around the
holding.
ruck, just picks
Okay, so
the ball,
diving on ball emerging.
drives his legs, shoots
I think
himself
it's diving on the
forward.
ball emerging as well.
It's interesting just to watch.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on Maxime Lucu,
Diving on a ball
obviously
emerging as well,
deputising for
Frank, right?
Dupont today, so there's a certain pressure that comes with that. The rain, I think, has probably restricted the menu choices for him. Simply serve the ball to your heavy carriers, get some momentum.
Yeah. Thank you.
Space might open up for him later in the game. He's not the same player. Dupont will make that space for himself. Lucu will wait.
You mentioned Julien Marchand being so active around this ruck area, especially with a slippery field. You got to win those meters around the ruck. Thomas Ramos said it during the week how important symbolically this Toulouse French feature was for them. But Julien Marchand definitely, as soon as he saw the calendar, I'll tell you, he pinned it down. There's so much emotional involvement. His entire family's in the stands. It means a lot for these guys.
Of course it goes through. He was 7 from 8 last week. An early miss from the conversion this week, but that was only going one place, that three-pointer. France settling into their game now. Fabien Galtier quite happy to take the three when they're served on a plate like that. And the crowd allowed to call the name. Here's Aldrich. Top carrier in the Six Nations this year, the La Rochelle back rower has truly become world class. Since France can cover most positions now, but they would really miss him. Almost the Dupont of the pack.
Stop.
Ultimac.
Yeah, agree.
Taken brilliantly by the chase. Oliver.
Tackle. 50.
Riley and Japan have to get back in position here quickly. Yamanaka saw that, covered the back space,
Inside.
as the fullback should. And now Penno's limping, just off camera, but maybe about to just drift back into shot.
Yeah, taking the M25 like he absolutely adores it, trying to pick a hole, but just lifting the ball for Charles Olivon. Beautiful line from the French captain. Let's just hope he didn't hurt an ankle or something there. He was actually declared unfit for the game on Thursday, having hurt his knee on Wednesday, but then was miraculously back on Friday. He said it was just a bump.
Let's play.
They cut short his training because of that.
Yeah, he wouldn't mind that.
Let's go, fellas. Allez.
Said with feeling.
Timing on 3.
Monkey really making the second row position his own. Coming the complete lock, the converted back rower. And look at this drive from France.
Still moving.
Luku loves ball like that. Oh, Aldrich. Seemed to be a lot of traffic he was going back into, but he still found a way. Tenno's recovered, lobs it onto Ramos. Down on the boot and Moefana. Filling in on the wing. With Villiers, another one out injured at the moment. If you think of the depth, it's quite frightening for the opposition.
Antonio, just on the limit, just watch your entry.
Lovely driving
just
them.
watch your entry.
There's a fine balance of creativity and pragmatism in this French team. They knew where the space was they wanted to exploit. Penaud got it away well. So I think we see Sekou Makalu.
Gaël Fickou.
For Fickou. So Moefana moves back into the centre. Swap for Dante last week for Fickou this week. Makalu gets back on the wing.
I'll be really disappointed. Gaël Fickou, he comes from the area of Toulon, comes from La Seigne, but really did his first professional games for the Stade Toulousain here, starting at 18 and jumping straight into the French team. Highest capped member of the squad. And a proper leader, he'll be very disappointed.
Placker! On time. Oja.
No, he's off, he's off.
Good line-out work from Japan, and then
Clearly
it's
change the
Lee who
line.
clears, but again, that's not good.
You've clearly stepped over. You've clearly stepped over to block him.
Creating the block right in front of the referee.
Michael, he's clearly stepped his line. Obstruction. Yeah, he's clearly stepped across.
Number 4.
He did.
Yeah. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, he means well. He's trying to protect his fly half, give him an opportunity to clear their lines, but not subtle enough, unfortunately.
It's interesting, the referee talked to Michael Leach as well. He's not the captain. Sekete is the captain.
Number 3. Number 3. Sorry, number 3.
Yeah. No, all good, all good.
Maybe just to make sure the message got home.
Thanks, sir.
But from Jamie Joseph, point of view there, that is a needless one. Goes into the category, why on earth did we do that? Concedes another easy 3 points to Ramos. France lead 11-0.
The opening break by the big number 8, Imeno, shook up France a little bit, maybe got their head straight, and then they're just doing the simple things well, right? Maxime Lucu clearing his line, the line out is working well.
Backwards.
And the high balls, even on the complicated situations, are doing well.
Aldridge is doing what Imeno did right at the start of the match. He's picked a great run, all Ivan wanted it. Aldridge knew, should have given it then, but it's still not over as Lucu gets it out to Danty. And now a chance for Lee Sung-sin to kick the ball downfield. That goes Mo Fana, finds Penno. He had a look, he always has a look. And Yamanaka forced to play it.
Great piece of skill off the floor by Moefana to try to release. But I think Gregory Aldridge will have a little remark by Charles Olivon saying, why did you dummy that one again? Made a huge, he looks so fit, Charles Olivon, making the absolute effort of, after a proper break by his number 8, of being there in support. Just a little bit greedy, Charles Olivon.
He has deceptive speed, he just jogs along and covers the ground. Enormous stride, yes, but he's quick. Oh, Sean, he's going over the top now to find Moefana. Japan trying to rock over, but repelled. There's Aldridge again.
Ball there. All right, Charles.
Crossfield, he's got the height of Makalo out there now, but the catch is good and the mark called for by Yamanaka. Scored 2 tries in the second test between these two in July, which was much closer than the first.
For the middle, counter good.
And that was a good counter. Himeno picks up his Sekete, trying to get his side going. Saito. Leach. 34 years of age now. Giroud coming through. Trying to make a mess of it.
Taking the space.
And the referee says...
On the wrong side, affected the clean.
Well, he explains it as well. Reason for the penalty.
1 is good, 6 is not. Clean the tackle area, please.
Yeah, he took the opportunity to clear quickly, didn't he, Yamanaka? And Tamak was the last man, fancied his chances, made a mistake. And the counter ruck, no eyes for the ball, the first clearer. Get way past it, put France under pressure. Poor decision from Ntamak to run out.
Yeah, 1's good. 1's good, 6 not.
It's Geelong, the culprit. Yamasawa out of the side, the starting fly half and kicker against England. This play's going to Lee. And Japan have something.
Yeah, and a half-back pair and only have 5 starts combined. Inexperienced, so every minute of today is a learning opportunity for them. If France have got loose, perhaps they can make the most of the possession that they get.
Restart from Ntamak. He's looking to use maybe a slightly slippy surface now, make it difficult to control, but no need to in the end. It's all the way back to halfway.
Probably Romain Ntamak still thinking about that decision-making when he got that ball isolated and still decided to step, maybe got a little bit overexcited playing from his home crowd, wanted to show his individual skill when probably the best outcome would have been to kick it back.
Just off the knee, please.
Still maybe overthinking that decision and sliced a little bit his kickoff.
Ground's not great. Keep our feet underneath, please. Nice space. Good setup, guys. Same again.
Let's go, Ducky. Let's go.
Probably heard Andrew Grace say there, ground's not great.
Crouch!
We'll have some empathy with the players here. It does start to cut up.
Get your foot, roll down.
Set.
What has become dangerous.
Stay ball.
That was a bit firm around the centre spot, but nothing firm about Japan.
Knock on.
And the way they were trying to deal with it.
Stop! Yeah.
Ramos.
over.
And Dante wanted that moving this side, screaming at his fullback. And Japanese fullback Yamanaka makes sure of his touch, and we're back to halfway, but with a different sort of set piece.
Reda Vardy really dominating Gou so far, putting a tremendous amount of pressure.
Good, Frank, right?
La Rochelle Lucid
Just good pressure.
really absolutely going at it, attacking the throat of the Japanese tight head. Had to exit that ball out of the scrum with a bit of panic. Then they turn over. France get possession again.
Nice line-out work from Olivon. On to back to Dante. They know they have to get in there early.
It's fine, it's fine.
What was that?
And his fact was Japan's top attacker at the World Cup. And some accolade, considering how many tackles they've made. Ferociously competitive games. See a serve for Fita, calling for the mark. Haven't seen him as a running threat yet. And he had 21 minutes against England, beat 8 defenders in that time. Here's Riley. Nakamura. Flag is up now. Initially the ball was kicked in, but then...
Not the best tackle technique by Sekou Makalu, but clever enough to slide him into touch. He said about Damien Penaud always having a look. Well, the Japanese back three are definitely always having a look. Sekou Makalu covering on the edge.
Good gap,
a little bit
respect the
high,
gap,
almost
Japan,
let go,
please.
but clever enough to slide him out.
No. Julian. France in.
He was fantastic in that position when last week in a hyper-intense test match. It's not a joke that he's in that position. He's a sublime athlete.
Kicked on by Saito, he might get there. He kicks it inside, it's too much for Sakate.
22.
Oh, nearly. Jumping on that disruption.
Fondamet, oui.
Tap back from the line out is a risk. If it doesn't go to hand.
Kicked there by Japan, right?
Correct.
All on.
They will know. And the chances do present themselves. They have to be taken to stay in touch against this French team.
Yeah, take him back. Take him back, Japan. Take him back.
And that went back into the 22, so Lee not quite on it there.
Take him back, Mike. Japan.
That means the line-out will be inside.
Yeah, mate.
We're in 22 instead of downfield.
That was about to say, Miles, an absolute gift of territory, that, isn't it? Fumbled the long 22. Not aware enough to keep the ball on the pitch with a secondary kick.
There you go, the crowd. Tried the wave. Well, a bit early for that, but anything goes here. Real party atmosphere in the stadium. Untaback somehow has managed to hold on to that. Luku just checking if there's any space to exploit. Comes back to Ramos, shows it to Olivon, goes off on his own. Penaud.
Onside, 14.
And just breaking up a little bit here.
Step.
Something Japan will like. Well, they'll like it if they can get their hands on the ball. And here's Moefana. Jalon throws it back to Untermack. And the tackle is excellent from Labuskakli again.
Yeah. In the tackle, in the touch by Japan, France ball. In the tackle.
France put in.
France
Agree.
ball.
I don't know how Womack managed to keep hold of that one. Damian Puno from a start.
Time off.
From a stop-start. Just slipping a bit under those conditions. You've got to be careful. So a few bounces on the passes, a few offloads that were just slightly
Come off the hand
unnecessary.
of 3 into touch. France ball.
Off the hand of number 7.
7, sorry.
Interesting there, we see
we'll do
the
the first water
entire
break there,
French
boys.
team in a huddle. Gregory Aldrich just called his players in from
Water break if
everywhere.
you want,
They've
guys.
lost their shape this last 10
Water break.
minutes.
Water.
Time to
Three is
lay
down.
down the law,
Is he
get back
okay?
to plan A.
Should tell you coming up as Gu receives treatment there. Final weekend of the autumn series. Next weekend, Saturday, Wales against Australia. Prime video from 2:30 in the afternoon, followed by England against South Africa. Two very important clashes
All
for
good,
a whole
Japan.
host of reasons. Impossible to list
Okay,
here.
let's go. Allez. France ball. The touch, guys. The line, sorry, is yours. Combien? Charles, combien? 5.
Yeah, they've changed.
Gu Juwon is okay, like Fly Half Lee of Korean origin, whose father played for Korea internationally at rugby.
Okay, thrown across. Contact in the air.
Number 5.
Number 5.
That's Jack Cornelson, who's the son of Greg Cornelson, played for Australia a long, long time ago.
The 5. Thrown
He scored
across.
4 tries in a test match against the All Blacks. That's a feather in anybody's cap.
Gonna say that's a pretty exclusive club, isn't it?
Of one.
Club of 1, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Pretty sure I've done that many times on the PlayStation, to be fair.
I am looking at it. It looks good to me. 5 again, yeah? That's 5, that's good. More!
You feel it's coming again.
That's good.
As we approach the half-hour mark. Marchand controls.
Premier it!
Luku looks interested. But they are still moving. And while they're moving,
That's France to ground.
scrum half will let it go.
Okay.
Marchand. Oh. Crowd felt that by the sounds of it. Aldrich. That's a bit shoved there from
Now
behind.
backwards.
Marchand's up for more here. Luku to Antonio. Aldrich comes home. Well, this is relentless stuff.
Advantage, 12, not
That's a
rolling.
clear penalty. Only way of slowing it down, slip from Moefana.
12, not rolling.
It's gone
Effective
against
speed of ball.
Nakamura. Oliver certainly getting
You're good.
the
He's not,
bash
12.
from his side. I wonder if this is the time not to go for
You're
the
good.
3.
You're good.
Captain's
You're
call.
good. 12's not affected the clean.
Do you reckon, Paul, that's maybe the words of Gregory Aldrich said, let's stop the silly offloads and the, you know,
Mike,
the
you're
fancy
good, but you've
passes,
affected
have
the
a good
clean
driving
because
mode,
12's on
get
the wrong
Julien
side,
Marchand
not
around the
rolling.
corner, let's get the big
Number
fellas
12, you're good.
one-off passes,
Shot called.
set up the line out, use the power, and then let's just get around
Number
the corner
12, yeah.
and use
He's
our
affected the
weight.
turnover.
Japan did really well, though, to defend that driving mode all the way to the minute. Julien Marchand throwing himself head first. Careful, that can be dangerous. Some pretty... Maybe they got a taste for big collisions after last week.
They've got a taste for the Ramos boot. And they know he's going to get 3. Just wondered, worth asking the question there. Maybe just in view of what was happening in the build-up. Is it time just to go for a few more rumbles to the line? But France, as they should, show full respect to Japan. If others didn't, it has cost them dear in recent times.
You're absolutely right. Respect the game, respect your opponents. Keep the scoreboard ticking.
Well, one or two boos from the home supporters. France went for the kick.
Shot enough. Take him back.
But this run means a lot to France. After the year they've had, they can hardly contemplate losing this and going into Christmas on the back of a defeat. That's gone forward, and Japan will put into the scrum.
Oh no, because it's gone straight into him. He knows
A
nothing
couple of
about
mistakes by Romain Tamac. Hopefully he's not
accidental off the head. Yeah.
losing his head a bit. After a strong start, a fantastic grubber kick for Damien Penaud's try.
Yeah.
Probably overthinking things a little bit. Conditions not really easy.
Sometimes, as you mentioned before, the emotion of playing here in front of friends and family, playing at home, sometimes you can just get overwhelmed, and it manifests itself in different ways. I'd like to see N0V third game into the autumn just start to hit his straps a little bit. He's made a couple of mistakes today, but not having Dupont there, he needs to step up and keep the team organised and disciplined and functioning.
After Wallabies' saviour by Mathieu Jalibert coming on, the good pass for Damien Penaud, still Fabien Galtier and his staff sticking with Romain Tamac, just backing him up. Hopefully that will boost his morale. He's definitely not in the same fitness that he was for the Grand Slam, where he was absolutely outstanding. But like you said, he will get there.
He's class, he will. Still chuckling at Japan, as they have every right to. I understand why we're asking for the offside there. The ball just went straight to Redawadi's head, didn't know anything about it.
Stand up.
Clear accident.
Guys, the two of you are bringing your brake foot back. Okay, hold your brake foot. Keep your brake foot on. Let's go.
It's a scrum.
Say mark.
And a reset one at that.
That's the new rules, Miles, about the hookers.
Keep your brake foot on.
Are the only ones who've got the handbrake on, which is their right foot, that you tend to release just before impact. And to relieve a little bit of pressure on the front rowers' necks, World Rugby thought it would be a good idea to force the hookers to keep that brake foot on. Julien Marchand and Sakate are just being told to respect that rule. You see there, only on impact can you release that handbrake.
You two last night, put the brake foot on your night out. Nicely done, very professional. Yamanaka onto Riley. Nelson with the roll round, doesn't quite work. Nice from France on the floor. Dante has seen some space. He's gone for the big boot. Chased by Penaud.
Inside.
Lee finds onto Mac. Riley's turn. That's bouncing in space. And Ramos. It's like he climbed a ladder to get there.
Good hands, Antonio.
And then Penaud out to Rocky. Macalou. Well, he's acting like a winger, and so he should.
Tomo Ramos, he really has made that 15 shirt his own, hasn't he? You wouldn't have looked beyond Melvin Jaminet not too long ago, but Ramos has come in, taken full advantage.
Absolutely.
Scores points by the bucket load, reliable, an extra set of eyes, and a good decision maker.
Last week he maybe didn't do anything particularly flash, but how many high balls did he go and get and secure for the French team against the Springboks? And he's doing it again.
Japan have to be careful there at the line. It might not matter anything because look who just hit it. And this is going to raise the roof. Jean Olivon, another with a knack of scoring tries. It is great to see him back in that shirt, free of injury. And that smile is wide again. There you can see they're just closing the gap, and maybe France could have had a point. They've got 5 points.
It was knocked on by
at
Japan.
the end of it.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
There's some magic in that 9 shirt at the moment, isn't there? Passed over to Maxime Lucu this week. A Dupont-like break. And the ball tapped off the top of the line out.
Tell you what, there's a tiny little club in the French Pyrenees, in the Pays Basque, called Saint-Pé-sur-Nivelle, who will be particularly proud, because both Maxime Lucu and Charles Olivon are from that tiny little village up in the mountains. Good mates, have known each other for forever. So seeing them, you know, with the initial break, the final pass, and a beautiful try for France, it's a beautiful spotlight in this small village in the French Pyrenees.
And Ramos belts it through again. There's a man in form in all that he does. And well played, Lucu. Saw it was on. That's good vision, because there's a lot in front of him there to see through.
He picked the right route. And then Olivon, he's one of those players every now and again you get mesmerised and just follow one player around the field. Charles Olivon is a proper operator. He's a superb rugby player. The instinct to follow that ball there. He moved before everybody else. And like you said, Miles, an absolute glider once he gets going.
And also, like another try scorer this afternoon, Damien Penaud, he's got the knack, whatever it is, to be in the right positions. It's that reading of the game. Well, that's not so good.
You've seen Dupont, that kick,
Taken
the
back.
long clearing kick. He has the awareness to know whether he's in or outside the 22. Lucu's actually, after a shaky start, kicking the ball pretty well. Just lost his bearings there as he rolled back the ball back to the back of the ruck, which took it over the 22-metre line.
Fine.
That's Nakano. Youngster coming in for his 6th cap. Japan move it around this week in midfield. They need to be able to show what they've got behind the scrum, though. 2 minutes until the interval. The 2 tests of the summer, they're in front at half-time. Not so this one. Starting to become a long way behind. Inagaki. Saito to the blind side.
Perfect.
Saito again, Leach. Right on the gain line. Crossed it there for. It was aggressive from Leach.
Backwards.
But it's equally aggressive from the French defence. Marshalled, of course, by Sean Edwards, signing that contract extension this week. Through into another World Cup year, 2027. A minute left for Japan to get more than just the 3. Warner Durns.
Oh, that one's for Julien. No chance in the world. He got really close a couple of seconds ago. Listen to the referee. Let it go. When he's in that position, he is just absolutely ruthless.
And Ramos going quickly, and Penaud going with him. And Fifita going as well, and just as well for Japan. The one who'd read it.
And Julien Marchand over the ball, just unstoppable. But I'm really impressed with Reda Vardy, I must say, the Lucette prop. Very active. Quite dynamic and sharp, strong in the scrum. Very active defensively. He was the one who tackled to allow Julien Marchand to get over the ball. Superb first start for the relatively unexperienced La Rochelle Lucette prop.
Still time here for Olivon's France. They're in control of play before half-time now, with the clock in red. Antonio, comforting arm of Aldred alongside. Here's Waukee. He's lost it in contact. That's gone forward by Sean. Well, the referee's going to have to call that back.
Clearly knocked on, yeah?
Marchand does not look particularly willing to celebrate. He knew.
Yeah, cheers, Frank. We have time anyway.
8 carries in the first half for Julien
half-time,
Marchand. That's some serious activity, but I do think he's not going to add, unfortunately, a try for him. Cameron Woki just missing out.
That season's through to half-time. Quick start by the French. We thought they were going to overwhelm Japan in the rain. Japan fought back as France lost their shape, for want of a better phrase, and the game went quiet for a little period. Gregory Aldrich dragged his team in and gave them a talking to. We've seen that French power game there in the last 5 or 6 minutes of that half. Worthy of a good score at the end, Charles Olivon, after the Maxime Lucu break. So France comfortably in control, but back on the horse.
Thanks, Paul. Benjamin off to join Serge with Mark, and that's the half-time score. France lead by 21-3 in Toulouse.
He bulleted that pass, 20.4 meters.
Domino's Price Guys. Get small pizzas for £8, medium pizzas for £10, and large pizzas for £12, but only till Sunday.
The first 7 seconds. 7 seconds to know if you love it or you hate it. 7 seconds of impulse. 7 freaking irrational seconds. I don't want to try to convince you. 7 seconds is enough. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cooper Formentor.
All kinds of gifts to bring us closer. Etsy has it.
I am what I am. I don't want praise. I don't want pity. And so, if I love each sparkle and each bangle, why not see things from a different angle? Your life is a sham till you can shout out, I am what I am.
Say hello to Go.Compare, the new way to compare prices on insurance, credit cards, and more. So, if you're looking for the right deal on your pet insurance, looking to switch your home insurance, or searching for car insurance with £250 free excess cover, remember Go.Compare. One click, and you're there.
Go.Compare!
Have you not seen my new phone yet? It literally folds in half.
I love my phone, but I would never even think about switching.
Want me tonight? Here I am, baby. How many people?
Hey, man.
Why not?
You're not making a mistake.
Mr. Butler!
And now,
Safety
ladies
shoes?
and gentlemen, Mr. Butler.
My choice. You power.
They've dominated 92% of rucks in their own half.
I know, but if you can you send them to me or not? No. Oh, it looks like you've rejoined us here in Toulouse in the south of France. I'm hearing noise. I'm being told that you're back with us, which is very exciting. and already we've had a seismic upset this weekend, but it doesn't look like the signs so far that we're going to get another one here at the Stadium de Toulouse. France in almost total control of that first 40 minutes, and this was another wonderful moment for Charles Olivon back in the side after long layoff through injury, scored against Australia, back on the score sheet again today, and no major shocks and nothing too much to worry about from a French point of view. But anyway, you caught us a bit by surprise there. We were waffling away. There's the half-time score, 21 points to 3. Japan's conceding too many penalties. When you've got Thomas Ramos in the form that he's in, you can't afford to do that. They're building a score. They're scoring tries. So far, so good for France, unbeaten, of course, in 2022. So, Serge, how happy will the French camp be after that first 40 minutes?
Of course, we are very happy, despite the start of France getting that win through from Japan. But in general, they don't have any challenge from the Japanese camp, and we are very pleased for the first half.
And Benjamin, I mean, it's not been easy. It's very British to complain about the weather when you're in the south of France, but I've got a little minor complaint for what's happened here so far today. It made life pretty difficult in terms of how France have dealt with that. Will they be satisfied? Was it good enough? Was it controlled enough?
Can you hear me? I don't think they will be completely satisfied about the outcome. They will be happy about the way they adapted. I think you saw Grégory Giraldit at some point was getting a little bit annoyed of all those fancy passes and not adapting to conditions, driving more, getting around the corner, hitting those big ball carriers for France and getting the goal forward. I think this is what led France to be much more in control, especially in the second 20 minutes of the first half. So they will be happy that they found the solutions together without having to go at halftime and get a slap on the wrist by the coaches. Now, is it enough? No. Are we wanting to see more? Absolutely. But you got to respect Japan. Every time you give them just a glimpse of something, they just go full tilt at it, and they are lethal.
Well, I saw you having a debate about whether Damien Penaud was the best winger in World Rugby last weekend, and he was on the score sheet again today, and he was calling for that ball. And Emile Ntamak, Emile. Oh my God, I can't believe I did the Emile already. That shows that dates me, doesn't it? Romain Ntamak basically saw the space and executed well.
Yes, definitely. It's true that Damien called it, but it's funny that we, looking at the action there, you see 5 men against 2 from France, and they still managed to score that try. Amazing try from Damien Penaud.
It was stacked up well in the Japanese defence, but still they found a way. They do spot the space. That is the thing about this French side, which actually separates them from a lot of side. They take their opportunities.
At a moment where they were clearly under pressure, to be fair, and Romain Ntamak just stepped up, great communication. Damien Penaud will pretend that it was all, his magic trick. He did get very, very lucky. And he is incredibly lucky because he provokes that chance, and he is deceptively fast. So he'll be happy about that, showing a little bit of his footballing skills. He fancies himself as a bit of a footballer. I'll tell you, he is much better at rugby, and I'm happy for him.
So how chuffed would Charles Olivon be at the moment? He's back in the side, he's scoring tries, he's leading the team. I mean, life couldn't be much sweeter, could it? I
am really, really impressed with him. I think he has really stepped up. Maxime Lucu finding just a little tiny hole and finding one of his best mates, Charles Olivon, Saint-Pé-sur-Nivelle, the little village in the Pays Basque is where they're both from. I think he's been sensational. He really has stepped up. Antoine Dupont kept the captaincy for the first 2 games, didn't say anything about it, went about his business, led when was needed, especially the last 20 minutes against South Africa. Captain once again. I think his engine is absolutely phenomenal. Remember the Greg Aldrit burst in the first half? He was the first support there. He's got great pace, fantastic in the air, leadership qualities. What else?
I think we're being treated to a Japanese traditional dance out here in the middle of the Stade de Toulouse, Stadium de Toulouse. But Serge, Japan haven't once again produced the stuff we know they're capable of. Why is that? What can they do about changing that?
I don't really know what's going on, but it's true that they're trying to manage to stop the French momentum. They're trying to force the arrow from France, but unfortunately they didn't find the way of getting effective in the tackling, in the defense. So they need to regroup themselves and trying to recreate a momentum from their set piece. We saw some of the good things from them close to the try line of France, but they didn't really get there.
Any hope you think that you can see Japan getting back into this game, or is this all one-way traffic from here on in?
Well, to be fair, France were dominating with only 10 points ahead for a long time, and now that second try does really extend that lead. So I don't see them coming back that easily. Anyway, they just need to find the efficiency. You can't just have 3 points and be happy after a 50-meter break like they had in the first half. They're not going to get many shots, so they need to score every single time. Now, maybe the conditions are not really helping. The fact that the scrum is dominated and Reda Vardy is doing a brilliant job on the loose head side for France. Unfortunately, it doesn't look great for the second half.
Well, the signs so far, as you say, Benjamin, are that France will complete 2022 unbeaten. It doesn't seem like there's any way for Japan back into the way France are playing and the way we know they can close out these games. They lead 21-3 at the break. Second half on the way.
He bulleted that pass, 20.4 meters.
I want to be quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Not later, now. I want to own the pocket, make the plays, drop dimes to my receivers. I want to feel 80,000 fans on my shoulders as I carry them to victory. You know, nothing major.
Let's get in the moment now, Peloton.
Halfway through, don't hold anything back. Yo. 2 + 2 is 4.
Come on, you've got this.
Let's go. Bring that energy. The thing goes.
Turn it up. Love it.
Get up to £250 off accessories.
Video analysis was so key. The one game I actually managed to find out that my opposition winger struggled to turn, was very slow in the turn, when the kick went in behind him, and that gave me such a competitive advantage. In business, you always are trying to look for that little bit of knowledge, that little bit of analytical insights. The better you do that, the more you're able to succeed.
Sage gives businesses like Brian Habana's the tools and insights to make better decisions. Sage, helping business flow.
Internet's playing up again. What a nightmare.
Dad, it won't stop spinning.
It's been loading forever.
Save yourself from broadband nightmares with unbreakable Wi-Fi. Only BT's hybrid broadband is backed up by EE, the UK's best network.
Do you ever think of what your skin goes through every day? In game time and play time. Dove Men Plus Care protects and cares for your skin with triple action moisturizer and 48 hours protection.
Get a slice of the action. Get your cravings satisfied on Uber Eats.
They've dominated 92% of racks in their own half.
The French haven't seen their side lose a game of rugby since July 2021 against Australia in Brisbane. It looks like they won't be seeing an upset today. All in control, and 2022 on a high, then move on to 2023. What glories lie ahead, we wonder. Let's get a quick insight into how Japan might set about the second half. Graham is with the brave loss of assistant coach and former All Black, Tony Brown.
Mark, thank you very much. Tony, what's pleased you about what your team have done in the first half, and what do you think you might need to do better in the second?
Yeah, I think the effort is there from our guys, trying their guts out, and
they're working really hard, but we're just not quite making the most of the opportunities we're getting. It's very slippery out there, so anytime the ball's on the ground or we've got pressure situations, you know, we've got to go through and make the most of those and turn mistakes into tries. And then we just got to be successful around stopping, you know, France when they've got momentum.
Spoke to Jamie before the match, Tony, about the mental side of this. When you're 21-3 down here and you've got to come out and turn this around mentally, where's the team got to get to now?
Yeah, you know, like we just got to try and score first and keep pressuring France. You know, they're making enough mistakes for us to capitalise on.
Good luck to you. Thanks very much for your time, Tony. Take care. Bless you.
So, pouncing on mistakes is the mantra. 40 minutes to go for France to complete an unbeaten 2022 and extend this unprecedented winning run to 13. Benjamin, Paul and Miles, it's over to you.
Thanks, Mark. And what's so impressive about this French run, not just the longevity of it, but it's who they've beaten. They've seen off everybody else in the top 10. And now they're on the verge of making it to 13, as you say, all the way back to that tour of Australia in 2021, Brisbane, when they last lost. And their home record going into today, 17 out of their last 18 home matches have been won. And of course, we all know this is where the World Cup is. To have that kind of record going into a World Cup on your own soil is a very special place to be. It's also a place where you can feel the pressure, but they are shouldering any pressure very well indeed at this point. Still, best part of a year out from the sport's major competition. For Japan, they are facing a 5th defeat in a row. First time that would have happened to them since 2008. As Tony Brown said to Graham, it's about getting that first score. It's about showing what they can do as an attacking force. Haven't really fired any shots thus far. Disappointed with that. Perhaps more than the scoreline itself. That's what they need to address.
And use it!
Can't see any changes that have been made at half-time. Confirmed now as the teams go through there for you. Just remind you that Guy Fiku was injured in the first half, tried to stay on but couldn't. Not too serious.
Ball is out.
There's another key player,
Okay.
Sekou.
Okay, stop.
Nakalu is on and he's chasing here in his newfound wing role that he is relishing. Saito. Inagaki does well in the end, stays calm. Saito again, and this is how the match started. Finding a little bit of space on the fringe, and there's a claw here, and there's a chance for Saito to go all the way! Now that is different from Japan. That is what they wanted to do. Couldn't quite finish right at the start of the game, but they do at the start of the second half. This will, of course, be their World Cup base. And they've got a smile out of the coaches and a response from the Toulouse crowd. Scored at Twickenham, now he's scored in Toulouse. Now to Saito.
That was fantastic, wasn't it? They've obviously discussed at half-time. Let's go looking around the breakdown when we made the initial break right at the very start of the first half. Lovely short line, and then the awareness. And then Saito, just enough, and that's clever play. Early dive, using the wet surface to slide in, shortening the pitch, making him impossible to stop. Great score.
Second time that some French forwards get caught looking or, you know, just snoozing a little bit around the ruck. Coleman Finoa in the first half, Imeno going through. This time Anthony Gelon just not accurate enough. I think Sean Edwards will be particularly annoyed by that. You gotta defend inside out. You gotta clear first around the rucks. Worry about the edges later. It's not the ideal start for the second half.
And Lee's kick is the ideal kick. Straight through the middle. Japan into double figures. Well played by Nakano. Shows what he can do again, just his 6th cap, as we said earlier. Great name for a centre as well, Shogo. Centre started both tests against France in the summer. That's better. Return from the French pack, appreciated by Benjamin.
Much better. Grégory Aldrit right in the middle of there.
Ball and play, ball turnover.
Ball taken brilliantly in the air.
Yeah, it doesn't apply
by Japan,
to a restart.
structuring that maul, but Grégory Aldrit was the first one in there, causing all sorts of mayhem. Big Romain Taofi-Fenois throwing a few shoulders in there, driving mauls unconclusive. Ball's given back to France. Look at Grégory Aldrit just going straight for the ball there. Imeno under tremendous amount of pressure. Romain Taofi-Fenois putting his massive arms around it too. No chance in the world that balls were going to come out. Miles better. Good scrum for France in just outside the 22.
Crouch! Point! Set!
Referee happy to let the scrum develop. It's a good contest, that one. Farnett stayed on his feet for a long time, but then when he went to ground, the trouble started.
First arriving player there.
Abiskakny was there.
I know you slipped.
Jonathan Danty slipping, didn't he?
Same as the first
Some really
half.
nice animations using Jonathan Danty either as the powerhouse that he is or shifting the ball behind for Romain Tamac. But there he dummied the shift and just lifted it for Yoram Moefana, who is now his center partnership. But the big new father, Jonathan Danty, slipped just before he could go and support his center teammate. Japan put their hands on it. I think it's Labuscan.
Toi.
Good penalty.
Time off. Laline, Charles, s'il vous plaît.
Progro change. Antonio goes. Zibili Falatia comes on. Important try against South Africa, of course. A week ago in Marseille. This is better again from Japan, and getting Fafita involved in the second half is absolutely key for them, you feel. But I think it's fair to say he's been held up.
No. Hold on.
And that's come off Peno, he touched it, and
yeah, agree.
It's been spotted by the official. Japan ball.
Laline again.
Nice play from Japan here. Good defending too by Moefana.
Yeah, touched. Damien.
Makalu closes the door. Moefana jumps around the back. Then Fafita with the strength. Temporary, embarrassing situation, but he dealt with it well.
Yeah. He's getting rocked to sleep by Jonathan Danty.
Put him in the cradle.
Good contest. Slipped. No foul play.
Luku. Here's Fafita turning back. Now that's bouncing powerfully off the surface and too much.
Too much. Another mistake. Not easy given the conditions. But still, you don't want to concede another try. That 11 margin of points can fade away very, very quickly. You got to keep the accuracy, keep it simple.
Okay. Yeah. So we better height on, pull him in. Okay.
Very interesting to see when they decide to bring on Mathieu Jalibert, how early they do.
Better bind your side as well, okay?
If he comes on, but I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Just on Dante, saw this week, it's the first time he's started 3 tests in a row.
Bind! Set!
18th cap today.
Well done!
Okay. The longest career, but he's one of those players you thought
can you see there?
Wouldn't be the case.
You're better than me if you can see over there.
He's just an exceptional athlete. Pretty much his entire career compared to Mathieu Bastaro. Such a strong power, a house of a number 12.
So again, Chris.
Fell asleep a little bit on the wheel with Stade Francais, not particularly accurate with his diet, with his training, with how ambitious he was with his rugby, relying too much on his strength. And then really got his act together, came back into the French team, has won that number 12 jersey, like you said, Paul, with the absence of Jeremy Vakatawa. Now it's going to take a lot to get rid of him.
Saito, the try scorer. Well, that was a hopeful pass, shall we say. It's the best spin you can put on it.
Yeah, I know.
France, I don't think that troubled 5 metres.
New ball.
And it wasn't the right ball that was used.
18.
He did well to play away from the scrum because they were under enormous pressure.
You need to chase your feet. Okay, chase your feet.
France went for the 8-man shove, shunted him backwards off the ball.
The line, Japan.
Saito did well to get away.
Japan, the line. France.
Only he knew why he did
Japan on the line. France in. France.
It was Dante again.
Okay, arrête. Set. Wait.
Fleeta turns to make the catch, but Penno's so good in the air. That's a good lead. The hands from that shot, and then the strength to go with it. Luku. Redawadi.
Tackler! Move!
And off the bench last week for a first cap. This is first start. Aldrit. Little Saito there. Did really well. Falatia.
Step forward.
Good support from Ta'afi Fanua. Luku to Olivon. Nice shape to this attack. As Ramos joins, and then it's Moefana. Now it's Olivon. Luku to Penno. There's no panic, is there? Just calmly waiting for the right time. Makalu needs to hold on to the ball though. Labas Kakni picks up for Japan. We're staying in the fight here. Derns goes to ground and gets a penalty.
Fallen there first. Plaqueur.
Textbook attack from France up until that last little bit where the ball came loose. I think there was a chance for Ramos to move the ball early. He went into contact and then they ended up with 3 offloads and missed their opportunity. Good press from Japan though. Once that ball was in the air, they flooded forward to snuff out the chance for France.
Yeah, there you're right. The overlap was completely on. You said Ramos held it, Moefana held it, Olivo held it, and in the end it was too late. And then we always say go through the hands when the overlap is there. Damien Penaud didn't skip one teammate, he skipped about 9. Sekou Makalu got the ball and the defender in the same time and unfortunately dropped it for France.
Double change being made here, scrum half and at number 8. So that means try scorer Saito, also tackler there. And he had to grit his teeth and did really well. That's his final act in effect. On comes Yutaka Nagare, who started last week at Twickenham, the former captain. And we will come back to the other change in a moment because Nagare is involved with Japan on attack once more. There's Derns, nice offload. Nagare finds Lee. Luku steps forward looking for the interception. And the ball has gone forward. And we should tell you that Tavita Tatafu is on as the replacement for Himeno in the back row. There he is.
Nice little bit of shape from first phase from Japan. Just managing to isolate Intermac. Timing of the pass and the little bump. Absolutely perfect. Then they go back to the short side here. Defensive system with Luku on the end of the line. And Makalu sweeping in behind him. The number 9 reads it well, jumps out of the line, forces the error.
Yeah, read it really well. Luku had a bit of a slow start to his game. A few little mistakes, kicking accuracy not particularly up there. And then really stepped up, created a beautiful try for Charles Olivon. Reading well in defense, leading by example.
It was almost a copy of the try in 2020 that Olivon scored against England. In Paris, with Antoine Dupont guessing for the English pack. Le Coup playing the Dupont role, as he has done all afternoon here. He knows the shirt's on loan. How could it not be? But they're never far away in this game. Injuries are part and parcel.
Yeah, right. Time off.
I think the players will appreciate this. There's some heavy breathing out there.
Water if you want, guys.
And some pace to this second half.
Water if you want.
Japan have started well, haven't they, in the second half. Obviously, they scored the try. Almost made a break there. Just show when they're accurate. They move the ball well. They're starting to put some runners into some holes. They get on the front foot. They're a handful. It shows why they've had the
12. Guys, 12 Japan.
big results they've had in the not too distant past.
12. Oui.
I've really enjoyed your company over the last few weeks. It's on Prime Video,
All good, guys?
and we
All
will
good?
round it all off next weekend.
Okay, water off.
With Wales against Australia.
Yeah, just here. Oh, sorry.
Starting at 2:30, and then that will be followed. What's happening at Twickenham between England and South Africa. Matsushima, Taro Matsushima, you will have seen there, is on as well, the former Clermont-Auvergne winger, back three player. Here's Dylan Riley.
Lost it, no!
Very much the standout man against New Zealand.
Nice flip, that's fine, play on.
Tatafu was a standout when he scored against France in the first test. Very powerful finish from short range. Maybe Jamie Joseph has that in mind with him getting onto the field in this second half. Tatafu, a bit of history there. Header from Japan. This Kane keeps working hard. Oh. Managing to offload just in the nick of time. Get it away from contact. Nagare, that lovely swift pass of his.
Committed.
Derms, yes, it was committed. The referee said. Nagare again, a drive back, but still going forward for Japan. Untamak. Parmesan to Ramos, who does not go for the boot this time. And that is why the Toulouse man on one of his home grounds. This is where Toulouse stays their big games. Yamanaka.
Stop!
Ramos digs deep and burst out of defence, seeing that it was possibly on. Yamanaka again. Good catch.
Good, play on.
The nod from Matsushima says, I'll go if you send it up there. Ramos safe again. Exemplary from the fullback. Peno. Some unit, Peno, when you see him up close, he's on the near side. Our commentary position. He's swift, but he's swift and big with it.
He is. There was some sensational tackle technique in that last passage. Really good attack from Japan. There are some dark alleyways if you go in the wrong direction.
Yeah, Sean Edwards will be happy with that. Look at that clean of Romain Ntamak on Tatafu. I think that can be in his highlights by the end of those test matches.
I think you're saying out part of the war, Paul, don't you? Maybe this means something to Ben. He spent a fair amount of time in the UK and Ireland, but he's got a fast bowler's bottom. Damien Peno. Not sure if that means anything to you.
Take him back. Stop.
Same to Fafita.
Let's take him back.
Lead to Yamanaka. It's the swift transfer of the ball, which Japan are now starting to show as part of their game. growing into the match, picking some lines, good hands to save from Derns to find to Tafu. Oh, Yamanaka again, but Luku's made some excellent challenges. And there's another. His technique is good, goes nice and low. Oh, having said that. Little high on that one, but nothing untoward. Oh, that is right in the corner. He's added something, and Saito was going well himself in the second half.
Yeah, he's added extra zip. He's getting much cleaner ball than Saito was. And he's dealing with it really well, giving his fly half much more time on the ball, and that sharpness means that they can get the first and the second passes in, which means that the next defender is slightly more compromised by the movement of the ball. So they're finding some gaps. That's a beautiful kick to finish it off, rather than run out of steam, put the pressure on France deep in their 22.
Mathieu Jalibert is on for France. That's why. And they're catching the knee of Michael Leach.
No foul play, Andy.
Trying to go compete for that ball. Fair play to him, committing his body.
So Roman Antonac, a ripple of sympathetic applause. Jalibert gets his chance. We've been hoping for a start in this Autumn Nation series, but Antonac, of course, coming back to fitness, wanting to prove that. It's Yamanaka, good tackle.
Released, got to his feet.
Craig Miller on the clock for Japan. Aldrich steals, or part of the steal for France. Luku swiftly in. Ramos to Jalibert, then it's Woki looking for the offload. Didn't risk it. Like a good call. Valatia. And Japan once more competing. So many aspects of their game have got better. There's another at the breakdown.
Yeah, Sipili Falatea, probably not the guy that you wanted to hit because he was the first man of that three pod of forwards, finding himself a little bit isolated. Sakate going straight for the steal. I think Romain Taufifenua,
the first man arriving player on his feet,
took the shortcut, cleared Sakate, but clearly on the sides.
Lee who puts into touch. Sakata once again out with the beach towel. Proving that ball has been a little bit slippy to deal with out there today. That's accurate though. Oh, it wasn't straight, it was right to the man he intended to find.
Start straight.
Just drifted.
It's
Clearly not
unfortunate.
straight, guys.
Just happened to glance at the scoreboard. We're enjoying the game and forget that there's a contest on here. They're only 11 points behind. Japan score again. We've just seen the last 10 minutes they're able to find some space.
Sank. Sank.
Make France rather nervous of their unbeaten record.
I think this guy's going to get a big cheer.
From you as well as the crowd, I think.
I am completely fanatic of this guy. I think he's stepping up to become a world-class hooker. 10 carries, 45 meters made with the ball. Only Greg Aldrit carried more than him. And we keep on repeating how important Greg Aldrit is. That's his role. Two stolen, balls in the ruck, accurate in the scrum, very precise in the line-out. A great leader. He was captaining Toulouse when he was only 23 years old. Great amount of charisma about him. And when you have another teammate of Toulouse, Peato Movaka, on the bench, who's also got some great qualities, we're very blessed.
There's Toulouse for Toulouse at hooker. Now on. And also Bastien Chalereau of Montpellier into the pack. As off goes Romain Taufifenua. Jalibert That's how to make a mark. That's how to impress. Lovely little sidestep. Inside it goes to Chalereau. Can he make it? Big man just held up, but anyone can score to the left. Absolutely anyone. Dante's seen it. Here goes Makalou. Has time for a step. Might as well give it to him. It's not like he's not got any tries, but it's smiles again for Penaud and France. And a wonderful piece of play from Jalibert to set it up.
Yeah, no playing by numbers with Mathieu Jalibert. Thought about hoisting a high bomb, then saw the space, changed it to a small kick, regathered. Little in and out to commit the defender, one-handed offload to Chalereau over the top. And Makalou does well to finish it. Temptation to go there for the big man. Finished it nicely. Yet another one for Penaud, and that record is one closer.
Absolutely. Mathieu Jalibert seizing the opportunity.
Oh, good.
Quite a risky kick. He needed the bounce, he needed the accuracy. 2 hands on the ball. I love his attitude. We don't know where he's going to go. Such an abrasive number 10.
You know what makes it more special, maybe, is the fact that when you've been sitting on the bench waiting for your chance, there's always that possibility of just pushing it too hard, going for it, to just say, look at me now.
If that's what you're
But he
talking
went
about,
for it,
Frank.
and he backed himself, and he delivered.
Think about the difference that he made against Australia. Oh, yeah. He saved that winning run, carving out the opportunity for Penaud.
Ramos with the kick. He turned away instantly. With that recognition, he knew, and you'll know this, Paul. Fine kicker yourself.
I think we saw Reda Vardy also leaving the field, replaced by Danny Prizzo. First start for him for the La Rochelle Lucette part. I thought he was really impressive. Just discovering what international rugby even feels like. And he's already had a tremendously strong game against the Springboks. Converting this, stepping up for the injured Cyril Baye. I think we're going to see him quite a lot.
Well, mark that down. That's a mistake from Gregory Aldred. They're not that frequent. Just on that kicking, when you've hit the ball and you know it's over, you can just walk back towards halfway, knowing the flags are going to go up.
That's it, when you know, you know. It's a nice feeling.
But Japan have an immediate chance to try and swing back into the game a bit here. Penaud's second could have given France and the whole feel of the stadium that moment, just pulling away and sealing the deal. But mistake from Aldred allows that. Beautifully done between Sakate and Fifita.
That's just a fantastic drill. I don't know which coach is going to take the credit for that, but look, Michael Leach calling the blind, and Sakate just feeding his winger back inside. Peato Movaka's got a decision to make. He's already sucked in. Anthony Gelon doesn't know who to get. Brilliantly executed.
A little bit like France last week. Not going for the drive from the 5-metre line out, using that bit of surprise, the element of surprise is perfectly executed. Really tough to defend when run at that pace and that accuracy.
And there's no stopping Fifita in that space and from that distance. Maybe nobody wanting to stop him.
Yeah, just 1 minute.
There's a beautiful simplicity about that from Japan, and Aldred's mistake, that rare mistake, is costly. Cost 7. 16 minutes to go. It is still not the done deal for the home side.
They killed the atmosphere a little bit. There's no more noise. Everybody was celebrating already, thinking about what's going to happen after the game. It was well deserved for Japan. Brilliantly executed play.
still time for that atmosphere to rise again. This count of how many times have been at this ground. We're in Toulouse watching the club side just concede a try, and the whole crowd, as the volume level goes to nil, but you just know that's going to lead to a response. The opposition know that as well. It's coming straight back at them.
Enough. More.
Especially when it's a result of a lack of concentration, as it would have been from Aldred there. The team that's cursing itself is a dangerous one, and here's Danty. Lecou to Chalereau. Lecou again, he's kept it going. Oh. And Jalabert is dancing this afternoon here in Toulouse, finds Danny Priso. Ramos to Moefana, to Waki. Pedo's looking for a hat-trick, he's given it to Danty! That's a little bit too tight, I think. No great reaction down there. Japan feel they've kept him out. And that's how it felt on first viewing, but you never know. Such is the quality of finishing in the game these days. You just never... Oh.
So on-field decision is try, just want to check touch.
Oh. Well, if he has, that is out of this world.
Getting the angles around it.
Up he goes, the flag is not in touch. Oh, it's going to be so close, frame by frame. Oh, what a finish.
Yeah, just we need to see if the ball has been grounded on the line. So one moment,
the
please.
line.
Exactly.
Take your time, Joy.
How close to the line is that ball? That is in touch. If it touches it, just a tiny little bit of paint. You want it to be a try. Oof. Oh.
Okay, Andy, I have a decision for you. The ball has been grounded in goal touch.
It's been grounded in touch and goal?
Yes. It's touching goal.
Okay, so it's grounded simultaneous with the touching goal line, right?
That's correct. Simultaneous with in goal and touch.
Okay. Yeah, so 22, no try.
Yes, I agree, Andy.
Okay. No try. Grounded.
There's your crowd. I'll let you know what they think. They think it touched the green grass first and then went onto the white stuff after. But there's no accident. That's a learned skill.
So
you see the wingers practicing it all the time. Hashmat's out in the corner, diving, get airborne, and it doesn't matter where the rest of your body is. If your hand's on the ball and it's over the try line,
so 22,
you can virtually be in the stand. It's amazing to see those skills have developed over the years. That's just a phenomenal intentional finish. Amazing dexterity and awareness.
And when he'd scored, in inverted commas, because it wasn't a try in the end, Danty was looking up from the floor, trying to punch the air. So I think I've done it. Yeah. Nobody else around him believed him. Oh, we didn't believe him up here. We're about to send down our apologies. They just touched the white line.
Nah, it's touchdown. Yeah.
The crowd wanted it to touch green and then roll onto white. It didn't quite. I think that's a right call from Joy Neville.
Michael?
Killjoy Neville.
Clever. Yamanaka with the fumble. He's played well today. Again, he's a good fullback.
Yeah, for me, it's good contest, and then he ends up in behind. He's not putting himself there, you know? N0V! More.
Good nice and accurate. It's come on. He's doing his bits and pieces well, and he's got the ball. At the base of all of this, Japan clinging on if they're realistically in it. Don't want to rule out any side these days. The scoreboard can change quickly.
touch.
Touch is called.
Evidence at Twickenham last night, but France seem to have grabbed this now by the scruff of the neck.
Beato Movaka just trying to release himself from that driving maul last minute. But Japan did really well to hang in there, stay tight, stay compact. He used the touch as their defense weapon.
Sakate does well, just composed himself. But his dart's right there.
All on.
Here's Ramos. And Penaud. Toulouse crowd loving this. Don't often get to see the national side. Jalibert.
Fine. No,
No, he came off the
no
boot,
clear
so
knock
no
on for
knock
me.
on.
Yeah, send it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree, mate.
Dante.
Agree.
Take him back.
Jalibert
Stop.
again.
Oh, well spotted.
No 50-22. Take him back.
Looked fantastic since he came on.
Take him back.
Agree. Take him back.
Repre. Charles.
Lovely vision here. Had his little attack, sat back in the pocket, got Japan's backfield bent out of shape, takes full advantage. It's just his classic 10 play, and he is bang in form.
Tom off. All good?
Yeah, Mathieu Jalibert is definitely quality. He was the man in form in top 14. Should have been probably, if you picked on man in form, the starter against with the number 10 jersey against Australia. France back in their strategy of relying on the consistency of the picking order. Romain Tanak finished the Grand Slam as the number 10 in the French team, absolutely dominating his position, and they want to stick with him.
Baptiste Guyot is on for Maxime Leclerc, who did his reputation no harm at all, the scrum half.
Good contact.
I say, well, he's no Dupont, but nobody is. It's not his fault. Aldrin. Chance here for Guyot to show what he can do. His 11th cap, nice service straight away.
Stop, stop.
Going down and Andy almost on his own there. Falatia. Good set up from the prop. Dante wants it. Jalibert going the core. Penaud again. Lovely little chip is that. And Olivon was interested. Being quick on the chase. All the pressure being applied here to Japan.
Fantastic line-out steal by Charles Olivon. Shame maybe Yoram Moefana could have been served on that outside-in angle instead of going behind the back for Damien Penaud, who then only had as an only option. Try to kick it through. Still France doing really well, not getting overexcited, staying within those, or keeping Japan inside their 22.
15.
Brave again with the overthrow, but it could work here. Nagare, as Japan think about running out.
Stop, Japan.
So very much the fore of their mind just to make a better chance for the clearance kick. Ramos gives it away. Nagare needs help. Matsushima.
Ball is out.
There's a scramble all the way back now.
Goal line.
That was like a rolling stone down a hill.
Charles Olivon trying to use, I think it was Yakamana.
Yeah, agree.
Yamanaka, sorry, as a bit of a sled.
Okay, Japan.
Look at that, Thomas Ramos can even
Japan,
spin
let's
the ball,
go.
so it's easier for him to pick up.
Ball touchdown in goal. Now, of course, the drop out from underneath the posts. which has been given plenty of hang time. Collision between Gelon and Fafita. Referee waves it on. Puyo to Jalibert to Moefana. Had another quietly efficient game, the winger. Never seems to do anything wrong when called upon. Jalibert is doing everything right here, though. And here now, with him is Aldrit.
Come on.
And out to Dante. He's got another chance in the corner. Oh, selfish to Gelon. There is the noise. It really is hard to fully explain the feel-good here for the national team at the moment. And that's now, just think, if they keep on winning in 2023, their home World Cup year.
How easy does Mathieu Jalibert make this look? You just drop it on your foot, pick it up, it's going to be perfect. Hold the last defender, lift for Grégory for his 1000th carry of the game. And finally finishing off Jonathan Danty, finding inside Anthony Gelon, who just stole it from Damien Penaud, who would have been happy to score another one.
All good.
Really nicely done. Anthony Gelon, a sort of a big hitter, does all the hard graft, doesn't shine much, but an incredibly powerful and important player for the French team at the moment.
And now of Toulouse, of course.
Absolutely.
Leaving Castres, which will endear him even more to the locals here.
Part of the gang from Le Gers, which is west of Toulouse, an hour away. Antoine Dupont, Grégory Aldrit, and him. And Bourgarit, the hooker from La Rochelle, comes in and out. They've played each other, I think, since age 6 or 7. You know, most of them play in the French team together. It's a pretty cool story.
And Ramos, spot on again. And it is so comforting for France to know that they have Ramos, they have Jaminet, they have total and utter reliability off the kicking team. Comforting too for Roman Untamak and Jalibert, whoever gets that role. Jalibert is putting his hand up here, quite magnificent.
He is, loud and clear.
Two's gone off now, yeah? All good?
Look, I'm sure to win a World Cup, you need 2 good 10s. What do you think, Paul?
For sure.
You needed 3, didn't you? No, you covered all positions.
There you go.
Stop!
Ayeta Nakao is on now for Japan, making his debut.
Play on. Off the leg of France.
This will be the City, their World Cup base, as we said earlier. Play 2 matches on this ground, so in that respect, this is a very useful exercise. A whole week here for Japan. Certainly playing in the stadium, where they will meet Chile and Samoa. They'll be very popular with the locals as well. Oh, ball stripped, here comes Ramos, but he's charged down. And Jaminet has to show another side to his game with a slide as well. Oh, he's playing it out, and Penaud wasn't quite sure. Okay, I want a hat-trick, but I can't go from there.
Take him back, past it. Go up, mate.
Fighting as hard as he possibly can, not to concede at a 5-meter scrum.
Take him back, Charles.
But then almost finding Damien Penaud on the left.
Yeah. Let's go, guys, let's go.
We keep on repeating the same things, but again, really impressed with Grégory Aldrit. He steals the ball in a ruck. And France ended up losing that possession. He has to steal it again then. Florent Verhaeghe also tackling everywhere for his first minutes in blue.
Let's go.
Proud moment for the now Montpellier, but Toulouse-born with Julien Marchand, ex-Toulouse player.
Seconds.
I wonder who these applause are for.
Point!
Just with France at the end, or maybe just to see a bit of scintillating Japanese play. Fafita involved in a try-scoring move before, which was very cute. Nagare and Michael Leach. There's no way through there. Not for now. The ball is now definitely for the French defence.
Run up. Shut up.
And if you're thinking World Cup, little subplot here. France have got the bonus point. And getting that try. Now they'll have to defend to preserve points difference here. And Japan coming hard right at the end of the game. They have men in the corner, but they have a way past. Nakano, no they don't. France hold out again. And there's real pride in that French defence.
Really showing a lot of commitment, not to concede a try, completely irrelevant on the scoreboard to decide who's going to be the winner. It's all about the attitude. Saw some brutally big hits. Jonathan Danty takes a knee there. Japan still incredibly threatening as soon as his counter-attack. Matsushima, Riley, some really lethal players in the back. Jonathan Danty, if we could see that tackle again, I'm not so sure how many 12s in the world can hold back Tatafu 5 meters out, and he absolutely dominated him.
Yeah. Let's go, France, allez! Allez! The line from Japan.
It's definitely been a sea change in the France's attitude to the defensive element of the game. You just used the word of real pride in it, Miles. You can absolutely see that, all the detail that Sean Edwards brings.
Now Barker up the touchline. France's turn to try something a bit clever at the line out.
Onside, Japan.
Is there time for one final French flourish here?
No.
Chalareau has been putting himself about since he came on.
Tackler got to move.
Had a game with Toulouse before his contract came to an end at this club. This is good through the middle.
You're in front.
But then the obstruction just got a little bit carried away. Japan want to keep it alive. Shame, it's a little bit disjointed.
It's touched.
We'll have one final possession for France.
France ball.
Finish off 3 weeks where the rugby wasn't perfect, but the victories were there. Fabien Gatti will be very happy. Leadership depth has been strengthened with Charles Olivon stepping back in. Sipili Falapea doing really well off the bench, the tight head prop, adding a lot of energy as a finisher.
Japan, open up.
And that's one position which has been tested, the depth, and just look at the depth there for all to see today, not just the starting props, but the replacements as well. Final play of the match. Final play of the Autumn Nation Series for France.
Okay, stay on.
We'll head into the Six Nations still in great shape. That is it.
Forward.
And for France, it's the perfect year. The first time that the national team have won every game that they've played in the calendar. 2022 will go down as a famous one in French rugby. 2023 could top it, though. It is a magnificent achievement, but it's only part way there to where they want to be. I know that, but we should pause and reflect on what they've done this year. Benjamin.
Look, it's been a sensational year for French rugby, obviously. Finally, after a couple of Six Nations that were a little bit problematic, just lacking a bit of experience, depth, knowledge of the team, rising up that number of caps, and then you have a core, spine of this team. Julien Marchand, Greg Aldritz, Ambroise, Antoine Dupont, Ntamak. Gaël Ficou, Thomas Ramos now, really delivering world-class performances. And they just seem to get absolutely addicted to winning, which is phenomenally important. Charles Olivon coming back. They can be super proud. They can also still be hungry because the last two performances in particular were not perfect. They still can get a lot better. But the public is backing them. The coaches seem to really dominate. A bit of a plan B strategy, a winning grit. They faced the defeat for the first time. They smelled, they touched defeat, like Fabio Gatti said last week, that they really overcame everything. I think they can be proud, they can be happy, and they can be even more hungry for a 2023 year, which, honestly, we can't wait.
13 from 13 then in this run. I suppose there's another way of looking at it. They've got to lose at some point, and they'll be maybe thinking, oh, please don't let that be in the knockout stages of the Rugby World Cup. But you've just got to put that to the back of your mind. Winning's a habit.
It's exactly that. I never even came close of winning a World Cup, so I can't teach you how to do it. But Paul Grayson did, and when I told him exactly that, then maybe it would be actually healthy for them to lose a game at some point, somehow, to have less pressure. And he said, look, you might as well get used to it. If you want to be world champ, if you just don't want to do well in your own World Cup, you've got to take on the responsibility, the added stress and the added pressure and scrutiny that comes with the favorite jersey. And I think that's what they're doing. Maybe it will come some point, someday, but let's just hope it's the latest absolute.
And in the interest of editorial balance, Japan, of course, today. They couldn't break out at Twickenham. They were well beaten in key areas that stopped them from playing. Second half today, just maybe showed that it can come together. They spend more time together, not just in training, but also in the match situation.
They need some time together. They need to improve. They need to be confronted with the absolute best in world rugby. They came close to beating France in the summer. They came really close to beating New Zealand just a couple of weeks ago. There is obviously some hugely positive things about this team. Riley, there's some really punchy, powerful players, some depth that is finally being created. But if they really want to compete, if their goal is not just to get to the quarters, they're going to have to step up a bit. But look, we can only thank them for the pleasure of rugby that they display, because it is a super positive nation, and we wish them all the best.
But the top line in Toulouse today, once again, is France. They win once again. What an exciting time this is for French rugby. France 35, Japan 17. Mark.
Thanks, Mark. And it's worth noting, not a single person has left the Stadium de Toulouse at the moment. They're all enjoying the sing-song here at the end of this incredible year for French rugby. As Miles was saying, maybe 2023 will be even better. It wasn't perhaps as comprehensive a win as some of the French supporters were hoping to see today, but a win nonetheless. 13 and counting, of course, to reach the benchmark of England and New Zealand. It's 18. Will they get to 19? If they do that, they have had an extraordinary run. Anyway, we will have all the reaction from both sides here. France and Japan. We'll hear from Benjamin, Paul, and of course, Serge is with us too, everybody. But we have lots to reflect on, all the reaction from both sides of the story on our return.